Good afternoon to everybody. Or should I say, welcome all of you that are here to be among the fellowship of the clouds. I shared this a few days back, an idea I have to refer to my subscribers, the community here, as the fellowship of the clouds. So this is kind of the first real attempt on the video, a video saying that I, shared it in the community as a post, and I shared a picture that I took that day and then put the Fellowship of the Clouds, through Google editing. I was just noticing, I really got to figure out what's causing my skin to be so dry and everything. I know sometimes it's because it's just, I guess I could just be putting some lotion and stuff on there. And I do get in that habit sometimes, and then I forget and everything like that. And I've been meaning to look up certain products that would help take care of my beard better and maybe take away the dryness of the skin underneath there. But I'm going to read. I wasn't going to do this today, but I just read number 17 out of Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. And I thought it would be a good lead in to just, once I finish the reading, maybe discuss what went on, not in detail, but just about how something, I let something get to me on a Saturday evening, and then it kind of carried over into yesterday when I was in Sunday school, when I got to church and had to deal with. It all worked out. Things improved, and I'm having a really glorious day. So anyway, here we go. I think I'll put my glasses on for this one. This will be number 17. Surrender to the fact that life isn't fair. A friend of mine, in response to a conversation we were having about the injustices of life, asked me the question, who said life was going to be fair, or that it was even meant to be fair? Her question was a good one. It reminded me of something I was taught as a youngster. Life isn't fair. It's a bummer, but it's absolutely true. Ironically, recognizing this sobering fact can be a very liberating insight. One other thing real quick. Hit the like button if you can, and if you ain't subscribed and you've watched a few of the videos and you kind of like what I do, consider subscribing. But please think about that like button. It's helping to get the algorithm noticing the channel, and it's pushing out to more. We're at 411 people. I want to say thanks to everybody. I can do that after the rest of the reading. Sorry about that. One of the mistakes many of us make is that we feel sorry for ourselves or for others, thinking that life should be fair or that someday it will be. It's not, and it won't. When we make this mistake, we tend to spend a lot of time wallowing or complaining about what's wrong with life. We commiserate with others, discussing the injustices of life. It's not fair. We complain, not realizing that perhaps it was never intended to be. One of the nice things about surrendering to the fact that life isn't fair is that it keeps us from feeling sorry for ourselves by encouraging us to do the very best we can with what we have. We know it's not life's job to make everything perfect. It's our own challenge. Perfectly imperfect. Surrendering to this fact also keeps us from feeling sorry for ourselves, because we are reminded that everyone is dealt a different hand and everyone has unique strengths and challenges. This insight has helped me to deal with the problems of raising two children, the difficult decisions I've had to make about who to help and who I can't help, as well as with my own personal struggles during those times that I have felt victimized or unfairly treated. It almost always wakes me up to reality and puts me back on track. The fact that life isn't fair doesn't mean we shouldn't do everything in our power to improve our own lives or the world as a whole. To the contrary, it suggests that we should. When we don't recognize or admit that life isn't fair, we tend to feel pity for others and for ourselves. Pity, of course, is a self-defeating emotion that does nothing for anyone, except to make everyone feel worse than they already do. When we do recognize that life isn't fair, however, we feel compassion for others and for ourselves. And compassion is a heartfelt emotion that delivers loving kindness to everyone it touches. The next time you find yourself thinking about the injustices of the world, try reminding yourself of this very basic fact. You may be surprised that it can nudge you out of self pity and into helpful action. And yeah, I thinking about the other day, I feel like that was part of what was going on. I like to think of what was going on. Let's just say on Saturday, the night before, I had discovered another channel and thought I kind of liked the person, and they. In the several videos I watched, they consistently are asking people to send them an email. They'd like to communicate with other people and blah, 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 blah. And I did that, and I sent an email. And then, after the first response, I sent another reply, and I asked a question about said person, and didn't know that it was going to upset them to the point where they made a video about it. And no, they didn't mention my name or anything, and that's okay. But in retrospect, I can totally understand if you've been asked certain questions for a long time and it gets old. I understand that. At the time, though, I think I took it a little personal. But basically, I don't need the negativity, and I just went and I unsubscribed, and I sent an email and said, "Hey, I was not trying to offend you. I wasn't trying to talk down to you or anything. I mean, most normal people, when you're first trying to get to know somebody, sometimes you ask questions, and sometimes maybe you've heard, when other people are meeting me, sometimes I get a lot of the same questions myself, and it can be frustrating. But in the moment, I let it really it was irritating me, and I couldn't understand, and I had to pray about it. I prayed for that person, and then I just asked for those feelings to subside, and I thought they did. And I went to bed, and I got up on yesterday, and everything seemed all right. And I even walked to church yesterday. But then about 15 minutes maybe into Sunday school going on, because the Sunday school, there's several different ones that go into other some of the smaller rooms and do things, and then there's a group of people that stay in the main chapel part, and there's a Sunday school that's presented to the rest of us in that part. And something was whispering at me, just trying to get me to pick up my stuff, put my jacket on, and leave the church and walk back here to the trailer and be here, sitting here by myself. And it was trying really hard. I'm like I said, I'm saying it was a spirit of discontent. It was, and it was something that was lingering from the evening before that I thought I'd let go of. And this, and then what does guide me, which is, the source, divine spirit itself, the actual spirit that I do listen to, said, take a breather. Go outside for a minute. So I took a walk outside, left my stuff in the chapel while they were still doing the Sunday school. I walked out, went around the side of the building, sat down, and had a little heart to heart, praying and crying. I teared. And whether you believe it or not, I'm not speaking this to try to convert nobody or tell anybody any of this that you got to do what I do. All I did, though, was something that does work sometimes for me, and I said, get behind me. You don't have the authority over me. And, I feel like God, the spirit of what guides me, said, don't leave. You know that would be the worst thing you could do. And the best place you can be at this moment while you're under attack is to be here with these people and be at church. So I pulled my stuff together the best I could and went back in. And for the rest of the class, I was sobbing and crying and wiping my tears with my tissues. And then, we went into service, and I had a lot of outpouring too then. But let me just say I'm very glad that I stayed. And we had a special guest yesterday, and we had a Thanksgiving get together meal afterwards. And the church also had raised money and got a van for these people that came to sing for us. It's a couple, and the husband is in he has to drive this little scooter electric thing around because he's like he can't just walk. I don't know exactly, but their vehicle was on its last brink and didn't know what they were going to be able to do because they travel a lot. And so the last time that they had been there in April, the pastor had decided to raise money and find a vehicle for them. And the church presented that to them yesterday. That was pretty cool to see, and just how emotional they got. And, once I got home and everything, I understand now that the reaction of the question and my email, it had really nothing. I got to remember this. It really wasn't anything to do with me. It was something about said person's inadequacy in their own mind. And that often happens. I've done it. I've lashed out at people before because of something I'm down on myself about or something I'm self-conscious about. I've had plenty of other people do it, just like the other day. We are subject to make these mistakes from time to time. And, I try my best not to take out what is going on in my head when it's something that I'm dealing with personally that I'm not too happy with about myself, but I'm projecting it on somebody else and trying to make it seem as if, it's actually trying to project it as if there's something outside of me that's causing me to act that way when it's really something that I'm having trouble with about myself. And so now I'm able to, this thing is not bothering me. It's fine. And all day has been great. I have plenty of more stuff I could share about today. I got to talk to a cousin that I haven't talked to in years, and that was awesome. Angie, she's actually a subscriber now. She found my channel had popped up a few weeks ago, and she commented, and I have sent a message out through Messenger, and she finally got with me on my phone today. Another friend in North Carolina, Alexis, I was able to talk to her on a live she did on Facebook, and then I exchanged numbers through Messenger, and hopefully going forward, we'll talk a little bit. She is going through difficult times, and I was glad to see her smile and be able to be there for somebody. And like I said, to be there to talk to my cousin too, because, we all going through something is what me and my cousin talked about that. I said, I got to take myself and put it in perspective on a daily basis. And you've heard me say this before in videos if you've been watching any time or you follow me on any social media. When I find myself during the day complaining about certain things, I have to say, whoa, hold on a minute, Gray Cloud. If that's if that's all you're complaining about, if that's the only thing you're seeing wrong in your day, you're actually blessed and you're doing really good compared to some people in this world, because, you know what I mean? Like some of the things that I'm going to speak for myself. I'm not going to say we, but I'll speak for me. I personally do that. Sometimes I get bent out of shape over the smallest of something going on. And it's, no matter how bent out of shape I get, no matter how unserious or serious the problem is, it's still not going to fix it. So, but when I put it in perspective and I go, hey, compared to some of the things I've been through, some of the things I could be going through, that is a walk in the park. And I think life works out better for me when I try to keep it in perspective like that. I hope that helps anybody. I want to say that on the thing on Saturday did have me thinking about maybe slowing down here, but I'm not going to let that be the reason if I slow down a little bit on some content or my social media stuff. I want it to be my own conscious decision, not based on something that someone got a little upset and maybe misunderstood me. And then I got bent out of shape and felt like poor, pitiful me, just like out of this reading. I mean, that's all it was. It was me being self-pityful, like, oh, gray cloud, oh, letting something bother me that really isn't worth being bothered over because, like I said, it really has nothing to do with me. I know in my heart I didn't say anything wrong, and I wasn't meaning anything by what I asked of a person. And all you can do is try to, like I said, I emailed them and said, I wasn't meaning no harm, and sorry about that, and have a nice life, and no hard feelings. That's what you should do, I believe, when you're an adult, is kind of try to resolve things. But life's too short, man. It really is. And but that being said, I am going to make a conscious attempt this week. Now, today I didn't do too well. I want to try my best to get back to where I was at, where during the day the only time I'm online is to upload a video onto YouTube and then sharing it to all my different other socials, and not staying on the social much longer other than to share those videos. And then, focusing more on what I'm doing physically in my daily life during the day. Now, in the evenings, if I'm wanting to get online and do a little networking and then watch some videos and stuff, that's fine. That's the kind of pattern I was in. And here in the past week or two, I've gotten a little too much back into scrolling. They call it doom scrolling, going on X too much during the day, checking my notifications every hour on the hour, seeing who liked and commented, and that's not healthy. And so I'm going to make a conscious attempt to try to get away from that this week and see what I can do. I can't promise that's going to happen, but personally, if I could, I've seen a few videos today of some creators that have permanently just removed themselves from all those type of platforms like Facebook, X, Instagram, any of that. The only thing they're doing is their content on YouTube, and then maybe a couple other things that's not involving like really putting all their life out there on some platform. And it got me to thinking, I think I can still be on those social medias, and because I want to be able to promote the channel and it'll help, but I have to learn a fine balance. And I don't need to necessarily share everything all the time. And I got to remember that too. But anyway, this is getting long. It's going to take a while to upload. So until next time, Mr. Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment, I hope you've watched all the way here to the end. And I'll say it once again. If you're here at the end, hit the thumbs up for me. Hit the like button and consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment, over and out. Ditto.